What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, Perspective, where I give you my perspective on current talking points. And today, I wanted to talk about black men dating out. What I mean by out is dating outside their race. I mean, there's a lot of black men that date out, as far as the white race go. But I'm not just talking about the white race. I'm talking about whether it be the Asians, the Arabs, so on and so forth. Black men dating other nations, other races. And me personally, I agree with it. I've dated out a couple of times, and it was a learning experience. I'll say that much. Even though I have my children by black women, it's more like dating out. Hey, you learn how different women act, and I do agree with Passport Bros as well. But the main reason I wanted to talk about black men dating out is because of the recent talking point that's been going around, which is the corny thing, you know. And I admit, even myself in high school and in middle school, I was called corny. And back then, hey, yes, I'm the working type. Even right now, I am the working type of man. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not rich, but yes, I am the working type. And basically, in the black community, yes, you get clowned for being responsible. Seriously, you get clowned for being responsible, and that's a big problem in the black community. They say the Pookies and the Tyrones get all the girls, while if you're a responsible kid and you just you trying to make it out and grow up and get a girlfriend to make your wife be responsible, hey, you're called the corny one or the lame one, because you don't fit into the stereotypes, that the toxic stereotypes that is pushed on the black community. And I want to play this clip from Entertainment Tonight.
And we know each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay?
Corny kid, right?
No, I did not say that. Misquoted for sure. Michael B. Jordan calls out a former classmate for making fun of him, and it is awkward.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to start drama over here.
The whole thing went down on the red carpet at a screening of Michael's flick Creed 3 in Atlanta, after he was approached for an interview by L'Oreal, the host of the Morning Hustle show, who reminded him they grew up together. And we know each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay?
Corny kid, right?
No, I did not say that. Misquoted for sure. No, you did not hear me say. I said we used to make fun of the name. But yeah, he is obviously killing things out here. Yeah, so that corny comment comes from a 2021 episode of the Undressing Room podcast, where L'Oreal, her co-host Eva Marcille, and Dominique DeDiva talked about the actor.
I think that Michael B. Jordan is just like a nice, corny guy. And I don't mean that as a slight, right? I mean, we all know that the nice, corny guys treat you the best.
To be
Now, and that's enough of that clip. But it's like, yes, that's how they treat you growing up when you're responsible, and that's not just in high school. It's also when you get older. If you continue to be responsible, they'll treat you like that. Um, I wish I remembered the name of the title of a video that I had saw recently, where a girl said if a guy, if she sees a guy get in his car, and put on his seatbelt, it gives her the ick. And I was like, wow, just because he put on a seatbelt, responsible, corny, lame. That's the black community all day. And that's why I say toxic forms of relationships. If toxic, everything is toxic as far as the mind of our women goes. It's backwards, and in turn, because I grew up a while back. I'm a little older, so when I was growing up, was kind of kind of the more of the beginning of the Pookie and Ray Ray syndrome. You know, a lot of guys that I grew up with, they weren't necessarily, you know, in gangs or the stereotypical gang member, whatever you want to call it, but in order to get women, they turned into that. You know, a few years down the road, they turned into the hyper emotional, I'll kill anybody type of dudes. You know, why? Because that's what girls liked, and black girls actually just stayed consistent with that all the way up until now, and it actually and it got a whole lot worse. I mean, this whole country and this whole black community, quote unquote, has gotten a lot worse. You know, I don't really get down with black culture. You know, that's what they, if that's what they call it, black culture. I don't really get down with it. However, I digress. This is still about black men dating out. I totally agree with it, you know, and I actually know why. You know, because black men are actually much, much more conservative than they think or than they let on to be. You know, I see a lot of videos where a lot of black men actually support Trump now. And yes, black men support Trump. Now, after seeing how Biden is in office, it's like, hey, they don't really want no parts of this anymore. But yeah, and black men, you know, whether we like it or not, yeah, we're a lot more conservative than we lead on to be. Because most black men, you know, whether it be in the passport community or it just be black men over here living regular lives, they want traditional women. Unfortunately, our women, especially the black women, American women in general, but especially the black women, are not traditional women. Women in America in general are not traditional women. And all a man really wants is just to have a woman, start a family, and build from there. And notice I'm saying build, because whether you like it or not, and this is a message to you, to all people, but this is directly pointed to black women. You are poor. All people are poor. What your parents have is not yours. When you start off a relationship, because a lot of men, and this is directed towards black men, we kind of know that we start off with nothing, because we actually have to build our resources up. We have to build what we have. Your parents' wealth and resources is not yours. You actually are poor. You start off from zero. But for some reason, women really don't understand that. Women think that they deserve the world. No, you start off from zero. That's what you start off with. A young man knows that he starts off from zero, and he first got to build his resources up. And usually that's through a job. And of course, you're going to learn from your parents. And that's why, back in history, the man actually, or the son actually did the profession of his father. Why? To learn how to build his resources in a fast way. But, you know, in this society, it seems like it's not taught that. A woman thinks she deserves the world. Oh, I need a high value man, 6 figures, 6 feet, 6 pack. No, that don't just happen. And men are reminded that, hey, you got to build your resources before you can get anything. However, women don't seem to get that, and especially black women, especially after the whole feminist movement and all that. And that's also a reason why I agree with black men dating out. Hey, this is gonna probably trigger a few people, but it's got to be said. The black man, actually men in general, but I'm speaking specifically to black people, the man holds the seed. The man holds the seed. Let that sink in for a minute. because you know I also listen to a lot of these black women that bash black men in the real sense of bash, because telling a person the truth is not bashing. However, I see a lot of black women that bash black men that go over to white men. Now, hey, if a black woman wants to date a white man, I have no problem with it. However, they actually bash black men after they go to white men. I don't see a whole lot of bashing of black women when black men go to any other nation. You know, now black women go to certain other nations other than the so-called white people, and you know, I don't hear a whole lot of bashing. But you know, when you look at people like Cynthia G, and I remember that lady Kirsten Christian or whatever her name was. Hey, she was big on YouTube a while back, just bashing black men just for being men, you know. But anyway, the man carries the seed. Whatever child a woman has, that seed is the man's child. To explain it a little further, if a black man has sex with any other nation woman, guess what? That baby comes out black. I don't care what the baby looks like. The baby's black. Same thing if a white man has sex with a black woman, I don't care what that baby look like, the baby's white. It'll just be a chocolate white person. That's just how it is. The man carries the seed. So with that said, you know, it's through the men that a nation goes on, you know. And I want you black women to really think about that, because I remember when the black woman said that abort all black male babies. It's like, hey, if there were no more black males, there would be no more black race. So what are you talking about? That's men and women. You know? However, you know, if all the black women were gone, guess what? As long as there is a black man left, we can replenish you. That's just the truth. That's the harsh truth, whether you like it or not. We can replace you. We can have babies by other nations, and guess what? The babies are going to be black, but you're just going to be taught different. And that's why I do agree with, hey, if you're tolerated over here, don't be tolerated. Go where you're appreciated. So yeah, I do agree. However, what do you think? So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, you know, and let me know what y'all think about this, because like I said, this is my perspective, but I want to hear yours. So until the next time.